Hello, my name is Sherrie White. Today I'm going to be talking about the Hope Medical case analysis. From what I have read, I have learned that Hope Medicals is a reputable pharmacy in Madurai, India, and it has to make a significant choice. Shiva Armagam, its owner, is faced with a decision to increase the business to the online pharmacy business. This is a chance that has potential profit and a huge financial risk. It is a complete case of capital budget analysis, cash inflows, net present value, and internal rate of return, and a Monte Carlo simulation to assess the uncertainty and risk. The analysis will aim at establishing whether the proposed e-pharmacy project is financially feasible for Hope Medicals. What I found to be the problem is whether Hope Medicals ought to spend 1.4 million in developing an online pharmacy platform. Augment does not disregard digitalization as the future, but he wishes to know that business expansion will be profitable. The first investment comprises the cost of developing the apps, registration costs, inventory costs, and the cost of the computer equipment. Also, recording, recurring expenses include maintenance, delivery salaries, packaging, and insurance. Having an estimated discount rate of 19% of projected monthly sales of the business at a figure of 350,000. The financial query is whether these inflows will lead to a positive investment payoff. Capital budgeting assists in determining whether the benefits of the e-pharmacy project are more than the cost involved in the project. Based on the case data, the first year sales are expected to be 4.2 million. The gross profit is expected to be 1.26 million per annum with a gross margin of 30%, taking into account the rising costs, depreciation, and taxes. The net cash inflow per year in the first year is approximately 600,000. It is anticipated to increase the sales by 25% per year in the first 5 years, and then the rate will decrease to 10% in the fifth year and onwards. The net present value is computed by discounting all the future cash inflows projected by discounting it at the cost of capital of 19%. The findings imply that the NPV value is positive, and thus the value of the present value of future cash inflows is higher than the investment of 1.4 million. The internal rate of return stands higher than 19%, which proves that the project has attained the required rate of return. These results indicate that the online pharmacy project is financially promising, according to the financial metrics mainly. In order to gain more insight on risk, a Monte Carlo simulation may be applied to test the impact of uncertainty in sales and costs on project results. Here are the changes in monthly sales, standard deviation of 10%, and growth in annual sales, standard deviation of 1%, can be simulated. With thousands of random simulations, the model does not give one NPV, but instead it gives a range of possible NPVs and IRRs. The findings indicate that the majority of the simulation results will still yield a positive NPV, indicating that the project will still be profitable under a majority of the circumstances. There is, however, a low likelihood of negative NPV values, particularly where the growth in sales is sluggish or there is a sudden increase in the operate, operating costs. This is to emphasize the need to keep a check on costs and keep high customer demand to decrease risk. In conclusion, the results of capital budget and simulation indicated to go on with the expansion of the e-pharmacy. The project indicates favorable cash inflows, and a good NPV and IRR that is more than the required return, despite the fact that there is a certain level of risk still associated, particularly with the online competition and the change in the new costs in the cost. The Monte Carlo simulation confirms that Hope Medicals is in a position to deal with such uncertainties. All in all, the decision to expand to online pharmacy selling is a well paid move that will enable Hope Medicals to expand and compete in the Indian digital health market marketing market. Thank you.